Okay, here we go, number 19. We are going to write the original equation unchanged. Okay, 26 equals m divided by 6 plus 5. We have to undo the plus 5 with a minus 5, so we write everything that was on the left-hand side, 26, and then minus 5. Everything that was on the right-hand side, the m divided by 6 plus 5, and then minus 5 following it at the end. Now what we need to do is simplify that and see what we're resulting in. So 26 minus 5 is 21. Okay, and the plus 5 and the minus 5, they're inverse operations and they cancel out, leaving just m divided by 6. Now what do we need to do? We see m being divided by 6, and since we're isolating it down to just one m or m, we need to undo the divided by 6 with a times 6. So we're going to write everything that existed on the left-hand side into parentheses with the times 6 in front. So 6 parentheses everything on the left-hand side equals 6 parentheses everything on the right-hand side. And of course, as I said, we multiplied by 6 because we were undoing this. Okay, and now we're just simplifying. So 6 times 21. Well, I'm going to do this mentally. I'm going to say 6 times 20. 6 times 2 is 12. So 6 times 20 is 120. And 6 times 1 is 6, so 120 plus 6, 126. And of course, we undid the divided by 6 with times 6, so those parts go away, leaving just m. Okay, so 126 is equal to m. Do me a favor, don't suddenly switch sides and write m equals 126. While that's true, and there is the reflexive property of equality that allows us to do that, you need to break the habit of having it say the variable equals and then the number. It can be written just as easily like this. The number equals the variable. And since the variable was on the right-hand side, that's where it should end up, and this on the left-hand side. Okay, so that's what we get. 126 equals m. Now, to do the proof, and notice what I did. Unlike the last problems that I did where I wrote proof and then I wrote the original equation on the same line. Right here I wrote proof, skipped a line, and then wrote the equation. You can choose to do it however you want. If you do it the way that I was doing it in the last problems, you might end up with your work spreading out across the page a little more instead of being below it. But if you do it this way, you'll have a couple extra lines. Now, proof. Original equation, 26 equals m divided by 6 plus 5, and you're going to take the original equation exactly the way that it is and rewrite it, except where there's a variable, you put parentheses, and then you put in the value you believe it to be, 126. And now we're simplifying both sides separately, so 26 stays 26 as we move down, and this part, 126 divided by 6, I know because I can do the mental math, it's 21. If you can't do the mental math and you need to write the calculation, I'm going to suggest that you have an extra piece of paper that you're doing your calculations on. So you can say number 19 and you can do 126 divided by 6 as a division problem and calculate it somewhere else. Or just over on the side out of the way of your work. But I would like you to, if you're going to do that, I want you to turn that paper in as well and make it clear that that's the work for number 19 instead of just a jumble, because we're trying to show everything clearly. But if you can do 126 divided by 6 mentally, that's fine. Okay, and what that works out to be is 21. So as I said, we've got now 26 on this side, and this part becomes 21 plus 5. And now when we continue it down, combining this right here, 21 plus 5 rather is 26. 26 equals 26, and you're done. So that's a proper solution and proof for number 19.